Welcome to Tuesday. Today's message for you is called The Gatekeeper Knows. Have you ever tried to enter a place or an event where you didn't belong? Maybe you tried to talk your way past a person at the door or the gate so you could get in where you didn't belong. Maybe you tried in some way to bribe the gatekeeper, offer him a little something, a nice gesture to let you in. Could it be that you broke in or snuck in, maybe climbed the wall or fence to get in? In today's cyber world, there are all kinds of ways to protect your information from intruders. But once in a while, they get past all the firewalls and, well, they hack their way into the system where they do not belong. We would call these intruders thieves and robbers. And they're breaking and entering for the purpose of stealing that which is not theirs to have. Jesus gives us an illustration for people attempting to get into his kingdom without the proper invitation. In John chapter 10, 1 through 21, it says, "I tell you the truth, anyone who sneaks over the wall of the sheepfold rather than going through the gate must surely be a thief and a robber. But the one who enters through the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep recognize his voice and come to him. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And after he has gathered his own flock, he walks ahead of them, and they follow him because they know his voice. They won't follow a stranger. They will run from him because they don't know his voice." Are you trying to get into Jesus' kingdom, or has the shepherd called you to come with him through the gate? That's quite a question maybe for you to ponder here this morning. Many people get involved in religion due to the promise of some sort of personal reward. It may be the promise of a good afterlife. It could be the principle that you can lead a better life now. You may need a discipline to follow that will help you overcome some sort of worldly trouble or addiction that you've fallen into. Maybe it's the promise of worldly gain, such as wealth or prosperity or a better health. It's possible that you're just trying to please a parent or a friend, maybe even a spouse. Maybe it's good for business. It's a place to meet people whom you may be able to offer your services to. It's possible that you're looking for a group to fellowship with that's, well, maybe a bit higher on the morality chain than the local bar, tavern, or even coffee house. So as you can see, many people come to the gate looking or seeking for themselves and not following the personal invitation from the shepherd. Verse 6 of our passage this morning says, those who heard Jesus use this illustration didn't understand what he meant, so he explained it to them. "I tell you the truth, I am the gate for the sheep. All who come before me are thieves and robbers, but the true sheep do not listen to them. Yes, I am the gate. Those who come through me will be saved. They will come and go freely and will find good pasture. The thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy. My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life." When you come to the gate of religion, or begin seeking for the right church, or even a better way of life, are you following a calling or just involved in a personal pursuit? Let's ask this in maybe a different way. Are you wanting to take something for yourself, or has the shepherd called you to lay down your life and follow him into his kingdom? Maybe a little different way to look at that idea. Verse 11 then of our passage says, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. A hired hand will run when he sees a wolf coming. He will abandon the sheep because they don't belong to him, and he isn't their shepherd. And so the wolf attacks them and scatters the flock. The hired hand runs away because he's working only for the money and doesn't really care about the sheep. When you're seeking for yourself, you can never find the satisfaction you're looking for. Nothing ever seems to be good enough. Yeah, this just isn't right enough. Yeah, it's not organized well enough. It just doesn't seem to be working for me. Maybe that's because you're looking for the hired hand to make life right for you. But the hired hand's job is to get you to the gate, turn you over to the good shepherd, and allow him to lead you through to the good pasture. Many people look to their pastor as the gatekeeper. I don't ever want to get in anybody's way like that. Verse 14, Jesus speaking again, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and they know me. Just as my Father knows me, and I know the Father, so I sacrifice my life for the sheep. I have other sheep too, that are not in this sheepfold. I must bring them also. They will listen to my voice, and there will be one flock with one shepherd. Are you hearing the shepherd's call? Are you listening for his voice? Are you allowing the hired hand to lead you to the shepherd? Or are you wanting something more from the hired hand than he has to offer? It could be that you're allowing that hired hand to become a deterrent to you getting to the shepherd. If I become the point, as the pastor, of fulfillment to the congregant, they have fallen way short of that which they're being called to. My job is to my job is to not get in the way, but to get out of the way once they enter through into the gate. I'll be around to feed and encourage, but if I become the point of focus instead of the good shepherd, the people will never find the satisfaction they're truly seeking. Only Jesus satisfies. And if you're not satisfied in Jesus alone, you won't find that contentment, satisfaction, fulfillment in anything or anyone else. The Father, this is back to Jesus in verse 17 of our passage, and it says, the Father loves me because I sacrifice my life so I may take it up again. No one can take my life from me. I sacrifice it voluntarily, for I have the authority to lay it down when I want to, and also to take it up again, for this is what the Father has commanded. See, the hired hand did not lay his life down for you. If he is a good hired hand, he laid his life down for the good shepherd, and as a result, serves you by leading you to him. Don't ever let your pastor become the gatekeeper. Your pastor is just a servant pointing you to the one who can take you to greener pasture. Pasture, not pastor, but pasture. Back to the passage in John chapter 10, we're on verse 19 now. It says, when he said these things, the people were again divided in their opinions about him. Some said, he's demon-possessed and out of his mind. Why listen to a man like that? Others said, this doesn't sound like a man possessed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? Once again, we see that the crowd is divided over Jesus' words. Many in the crowd are looking at their religion and at their teachers of the law to fulfill their self-desire. Okay? I want you to think about that for a minute. They're looking for their leaders, their teachers, even the religion itself, to fulfill their self-desire. When Jesus said, I am the good shepherd and I am the gate, the people did not want that to be true. They wanted to choose who they followed, not follow the voice that was calling to them. They wanted to continue in their traditions, in their habits, in their religion, in their ways. They wanted to follow their teachers, their leaders. They didn't want to follow this voice that was calling to them. But to ignore the voice of the Good Shepherd, you'll find that the path will not lead you past the true gatekeeper. You will not find the greener pasture. Just wanted you to hear that this morning, because I do not want you to ever allow me as a pastor to get in the way of you following the Good Shepherd into the greener pasture, past the gatekeeper, and into the kingdom that he has prepared for you. I'll see you tomorrow, if I can get out of this today.